Hey Frank, Nick here, man. Hey, listen, I'm at the Giacometti house, and getting ready to meet with them. I ran over the questions with you earlier. You know, I was just calling you to see if there was any last minute suggestions. Okay, right. Well, I'll let you know when I've finished up here. I think it should be interesting. See you, man.
I'm just coming in for a second.
This is Giacometti.
Good evening, Mr. Banyan. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Good to see you, Elena.
Good to see you, Elena.
Come on in. Looking forward to it. Come on in. My mother is
So
so
nice to see you
looking
this
forward
evening.
to this.
Yes, ma'am. It
That's right.
was fun talking on the phone.
All right. Come on in.
Your mom's looking forward to this?
Yes, she absolutely
Outstanding.
is. Come on in, Mr. Banyan. Meet my mother, Mrs. Filipina Giacometti.
Mrs. Giacometti, so nice to meet you finally.
The Frederick Tribune.
Thank you for having us into your home tonight. I'm sorry for the intrusion. We're just going to chat for a minute if you don't mind.
It's no intrusion, it's a pleasure.
Very nice, nice. Well, thanks.
So here we are.
Do you mind? So I don't have to take notes. I'm gonna record us, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, dear. This won't be painful at all.
She's
Okay.
going to tell
we'll get
her
this
a
out of-
story about coming to the United States.
Yes, I'm doing a little story. Elena may have told you. I'm doing a little story for our newspaper up in Frederick, and it's basically, it's a month-long feature of, Italian influence on, the area and just the Italian American presence in our readership. And we look for stories of interest, and we look through, and Elena had shared a story about you, and we thought it was fascinating, and our readers would really enjoy hearing about it. Maybe you could just, give us a little bit of a intro. How long have you been in this country?
Many, many years. I came in this country in 1956.
Okay, and the travel over here was very interesting. I hear. I'd love to hear you explain it so we could have our readership understand it. Could you take me through that story
Yes,
to the time you left Italy? Tell me how the journey began.
I left from Italy in Naples around afternoon, and the next day I had a baby.
So you were already expecting a child when you left.
Yes.
And
Was
did they
8
give
months?
8 months?
8 months pregnant.
Okay. Did they give you any idea whether you were going to have the baby on the boat?
No.
What did they tell you?
They told me I had a little difficulty because they didn't want me to live in that condition.
I don't blame them. What did your parents think of that?
They were very upset,
I'm sure.
and I was too.
Okay.
I was crying.
Well, what did the doctor tell you? Were you expected to have the baby on the boat?
No, absolutely. They did some tests that they were not supposed to do it.
Okay.
They made my baby come early.
Because they did the test.
Exactly.
You think.
Exactly.
That was your sense as the mom at the time.
Exactly.
Huh.
And then so Andrea, the name is Andrea
Uh-huh.
because the name of the boat was Andrea Doria.
With Andrea Doria, which has a very famous story of its own. So what happened to that ship? It sank later on?
Yeah, I was already here.
Right.
The Andrea Doria sank in July, and they arrived here in January.
Right. Andrea was born in January of '56.
And
So what happened when you arrived? Where
My
did
sister.
you land in the
In
United
New York.
States? In New York City?
New York City, and I was just terrified.
Did you speak English at the time?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I'm not good enough.
Well, you
Yes,
sound
you
great.
are.
You sound great.
No, it's
Let me
quite the
ask-
story.
Let me ask you, so Andrea is Elena's older sister,
Yes,
and you named her after the
boat.
ship, the Andrea Doria.
Andrea Doria.
Yeah,
And the captain of the ship, tell them,
Yeah, the captain was the godfather, and
Captain Calamai.
Piero Calamari, and the owner of the Italian line was Elisa Cernesi. Was the daughter of the captain,
Fantastic.
and so arrived in New York.
And a swaddling baby, you swaddled
Yeah.
your child, and was it winter time?
Winter time.
January.
Oh my gosh,
January.
so it
It
was
was
cold.
very cold, snowing.
Ah,
And we took we went to the hotel. The man, the taxi driver said, or you are an hero, or you are crazy.
Crazy.
Because it was snowing. I tried to cover up with the blanket my little baby.
Sure.
It was so small.
Let me ask you,
because she was early, so
did
she
the
was
press cover your arrival? You came from a fairly small town in Italy.
Exactly.
Where is it? In Umbria. What town?
Gubbio.
Gubbio, but actually a suburb of Gubbio. maybe.
Branca.
Branca, a
Right.
small
Yeah.
town.
Only child, they never went anywhere. Arrived in New York.
All right, Miss Giacometti, your mom has shared with her story. We were wondering, I know you're an attorney, and I think our readers would also want to get some perspective. You guys came here in '56. Your parents,
Right.
you were born later. You were born here. Where were you born?
I was born here in 1958, so I was automatic U.S. citizen. I think with respect to my sister.
Were you guys still in Providence when you were
Yes.
born?
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister, since it was an Italian ship, she had her Italian citizenship that way.
Interesting.
However, when they became U.S. citizens, she automatically received
Became-
hers as well. So she has dual citizenship. They actually were asked to renounce
She was
it.
born on the Italian ship.
Correct.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So she gained her Italian citizenship
Sure.
that way. And somehow, these two, my mom and dad, had to renounce their Italian citizenship once they got their U.S. citizenship. So they're only U.S. citizens. My sister is the only one with dual citizenship. She kind of slipped through the cracks that nobody ever asked
She's
her to
still
renounce.
to this day a
To
dual
this day.
citizen. Interesting.
Yes.
So tell me, you are a bit of a, if not, you were with U.S. Customs, so you did Customs and Border
I
Control.
did, but I don't know much about immigration law other than, I think it was much easier back then. I guess Reagan in the 1980s tried to relax the immigration, allowing amnesty for people that had come in illegally in exchange for border security, increased border security.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Obama expanded upon that. Now we're kind of, as we know.
Ironically, I think people are surprised to hear that Obama's administration was very aggressive in deportations and things.
They actually were,
Yeah.
with respect to illegal immigration.
And now, of course, it's a big brouhaha politically
now
going
everyone
on.
knows what's going to happen now.
Right, but from a legal perspective, has it really changed materially from the law as far as the law is concerned?
I think it has. Absolutely yes.
Do you,
It has.
do you have-
It's-
I mean,
yeah.
now they're clamping down. I know they've got this sort of, amnesty seems to be the four-letter word that no one really is.
Right. Although, as I said, Reagan had instituted that back then.
Right.
So. it's
Well,
kinda
the thing
iffy
is,
right now.
I think some folks are not that happy to hear how important immigrant workforce really is in this
Exactly.
country, and how
Exactly.
potentially damaging it could be to just have it evaporate suddenly.
Well, this is a success story right here.
Yeah.
This one. So.
Well,
Worked out.
it's been a real pleasure visiting with you ladies, and
Well, thank you.
thank you for sharing your
Very
story
nice.
with us, and we'll pepper a little bit of that legal insight in there, not too much. It'll be mostly an interest piece about you, Mrs. Giacometti, and the family
Thank
history.
you. I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah.
The land of opportunity.
Exactly,
Yes,
and-
of course.
All right, Mrs. Giacometti, thanks so much for your time, and I'm sure my readers will very much appreciate the opportunity to hear you share your story. Thanks.
You're welcome, Mr. Benyon.
Good night now.
Good night.